Hello, Unleashed fam, and welcome back to my channel. For those who are new, I am Claude Machel, and this is Unleashed, your method, and it's all rooted in self-love. We're talking all things personal and professional mastery because, you cannot have the professional without the personal, because the professional comes from the personal. It's you that transforms into your professional self, right? Makes sense? Well, in this video, it's a bit of a continuation from the previous video, which was we're continuing with Anchored. So this is Anchored part 2, right? In the previous video, we spoke about the 4 questions: who you are, right? What makes you who you are, or what makes you what you are, what grounds you, and then we spoke about your why, right? As a continuation from that, basically, in this video, we're going to be talking about the subtitle, being true to yourself. Because, okay, let's start here. Yes, you've defined who you are, right? We said we're defining who we are for ourselves and not allowing anybody else to tell us who we are and who we're not, right? We are deciding who we are. Number 2, we are then looking around us and seeing what makes us who we are, and we are choosing also. I think it's something I didn't mention in the last video. We are choosing what we want in our lives to make us who we want us to be. Who you are does not necessarily mean 100% you have gotten there, because I believe it's a journey, but it's at the core of your being. Who are you? Whether or not that translates externally is a different question, right? But at the core, who are you? And then translating it to the external and letting that come out is a different story. There's processes and things that we have to put in place and mechanisms to put in place to actually build ourselves to who we know we have the potential of being on the outside, because we know it's already there in the inside. It's basically, like I said, if you're going to say you are love, right? I said I'm love, and I have to then work on how do I show that love? How do I then translate that love from what I know I have deep down in my heart? I know I'm a loving person, I know I'm full of love, but how then does that translate to the external, right? Then it means it has to start with, because I believe everybody's capable of loving, everybody has love in them. Some of us suppress it because of situations, because of life experiences, because of tragic things that happen to us that kind of press that down with all the negativity, right? So releasing that and bringing that out would mean that I need to start loving myself. I need to teach myself how to love myself, how to be kinder to myself, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? Once I've established that love within myself and I have sort of a stable-ish relationship with myself, right? And then I also translate that. It can also happen simultaneously in a way, but it has to start from within. Then I can just start translating that to the people around me, right? Being able to love on others, being able to show love to others, being able to extend grace to other people. And however way the people in my circle need to be loved, however way I feel I can express it to them, how much I love them and how much I care about them, then I translate it, but it all starts from within, right? And then it goes from just being from your inner circle to being the bigger circle, right? And going to your colleagues or any random person that you bump into on the street and letting that love easily ooze out of you. It's a process into that, right? So you then have to decide what makes you who you are and putting processes in place. I said in the previous video that for me, what makes you who I am primarily, it is my faith in Christ, and it is my faith in Christ, my Christ identity, that makes me lean towards certain values that I have chosen to define myself with. I know I have it innately in me, but I need to pull it out, and some things we need to pull out, right? People are not all bad. You can see people bitter and all of that, but there's softness, there's love, there's gentleness in every person. It's just that negativity and all life experiences and everything that happens to us presses that down, and it's up to us to dig it out and pull it out of ourselves. Sometimes we meet people along the way that help us pull out those parts of ourselves that we didn't even know existed, or that we had suppressed for so long that we had even forgotten they had existed, right? So you choose what systems, what you put in place to make you who you want to be, and who you know you are deep down to the core, not what the image that you've portrayed outside, not what people have told you you are, not all the false facade that you've put out, but who you know you are deep to the core, and connecting with that, grounding yourself with that, right? And then obviously your why, and that's a constant reminder. Okay, so now we know that when you tap into such parts of yourself, when you tap into that deep well of the purity, the power that is deep within yourself, when you tap into and you finally tap into who you know you are deep down, right? And you've put this mechanism in place, and you are so you're content, you are now glowing, it's like you're blossoming, the real you is coming out, and you're feeling so beautiful, and you're feeling good about yourself, and you're ready to take on the world, you're feeling like a powerhouse. We need to remember that not everyone and not every room will be accepting of whatever version that we have now crafted out of ourselves. Okay, unfortunately, some people would rather have the insecure version of you than the confident version of you. Some people would have the fake modest, like the one that it's not, I'm calling it fake modest because it's not that you are humble in the way you receive compliments or whatever. It's just the thing that you feel you are undeserving of receiving such compliments or of achievements, so you downplay it and try to pin it to something else, like, oh, it's like you've achieved, I don't know, you've hit target 10 times, whatever your target is in your workspace, and then they're like, oh my gosh, you did great, since you arrived we've reached this target. And then you're like, no, it was actually a group effort. We both know that the team was there before you came in, and you came in and changed things, but you're not willing to accept that because you are afraid it's shied upon. That's what we call for what you call fake modesty, right? And then it's a whole lot of things that we know that some people would rather have that of you than you actually taking it and be like, yes, I came in with step 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm actually proud of myself that it worked. And obviously thank you to my team for receiving it and working well with me. But it still comes down to the fact that you came in and made the changes that made the pots to be done, right? So not everyone is accepting of that confident, bold version of you that knows who you are, that knows what you bring to the table. Everybody wants you to just downplay it and think very little of yourself. No, but a lot of people are not accepting and do not want to see that vision of yourself, especially as women. I think we're having this powerful conversation, oh my gosh, with Dr. Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka, and we were talking about how women especially, right, struggle to put their hands up for a challenge like leadership or something that requires critical thinking, those kind of roles, because we're afraid of how we will be perceived. We're afraid of looking like we're arrogant, and we actually, the stats came flying that a woman that knows 99% or of the work that needs to be done, or a woman that has 99%, that checks 99% of the requirements for a job or executive role, will wait, not put up their hand or not go for it because she's waiting to get to the remaining 1%. Whereas a man that has 10% of the requirements thinks, oh my gosh, like I can actually do this, I'll figure out the rest, and will put up his hand and go for it, right? When you look at these things, the man who has 10% knowledge or 10% of the requirements, whatever the case is usually applauded for being a leader and actually believing in himself. It's like, oh, it's confidence, woo, hallelujah. But when it's a woman with the same stats, knowing 99% or having 99% of the requirements, putting herself up and saying, you know what, I know I got this, I can do this, they're like, no, she's arrogant. Those are the kind of things, right? So it's knowing what we know and knowing that, unfortunately, as women, the system was not created by us and not for us. Then how do we navigate through? Because you come and certain parts of you are shied away from. I'll give you a personal experience, right? So if you still haven't figured it out or you still haven't seen it, but you probably would have, is that my personality is quite, it's daring, it's here. It's loud, not in terms of volume, but in terms of aura and presence, right? Yeah, volume is a bit there a lot, but it's loud in terms of aura and presence. Ne? And then couple that with the fact that I'm quite a bold and confident personality. All throughout my life, I've constantly been trying to tone it down because it's made people uncomfortable. I mean, all throughout my life, for as young as I could remember, it's like, wapapa, you think you know a lot. So I've gotten that a lot. And it's not that I think I know a lot. If you actually get to know me, I'm one of those people who are always open to learning. Like, you can come at me thinking you're coming to criticize me and you're going to put me down. Best believe my mentality in the whole interaction is always, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I improve from this? How can I walk out of this interaction a better person? That's a mindset I've built around myself, because I realize that people come at you different things. Whenever you're thinking you're tearing me down, I'm always thinking and looking for an opportunity to learn, right? So that is my humility. I'm always thinking, I obviously don't have everything figured out. I don't know everything. Yes, there's stuff that I know, but there's stuff that I don't know, and I'm always open to learning. I'm always open to the fact that regardless of background, there's something that I can learn from anybody and everybody. So, but people usually come at me with that. They see me from first glance, and I walk into the room, and me and all my aura and presence and confidence and everything, and it's automatically read, oh, she's arrogant, oh, she's full of it, oh, she thinks she's that. And they, before they even hear me out, or before they even give me 2 seconds or 2 minutes of their time to actually figure out and then actually take their time to get to know me, even if it's just like speed dating, they've already made such conclusions about me, right? And it's not a lot of people that actually take the time after that whatever glimpse they think they got of you to actually sit back and analyze and actually draw a proper conclusion. Some people just shut it there and then they move on, right? And I have tried to tone it down a bit, try to do this, try to do that. Even when I think I have toned it down to my ultimate lowest, it still is there. And until I had to realize that this is me, this is who I am, this is my aura, and I need to own it, because trying to shy away and it's not doing me any good. Then I'm always self-conscious when I'm in different spaces, because I'm wondering, do they think I'm arrogant? Okay, are they seeing me? Okay, I hope they're seeing good. And no. I know deep down I'm one of the humblest people you'll ever know. I know deep down I am one of the warmest people you ever know. I'm one of the friendliest people you ever know. Go ask my colleagues, go ask anybody. A lot of people who know me will probably 99% of them, 99% of them will probably give you a report that she's actually a very humble and down-to-earth person. Yes, a strong personality. Yes, speaks her mind, but otherwise very, very humble and very loving. And I know that about myself, So before people see that, when I'm trying to hide, because in those times when you're trying to hide I hope I'm putting this in a way that makes sense, in those times when you're trying to hide certain parts of you that you think are not welcome in certain rooms, you are unaware that you're actually hiding all of you. So for instance, when I'm saying I'm toning down on my personality, and I'm trying to hide, and I don't want to, because people might think I'm arrogant, so I'm trying to tone it down. What extent I'm actually doing is I'm toning down all of me. That means people don't get to experience the loving me. People don't get to experience the friendly and the kind me. They don't experience, the bubbly me. They don't experience all like the Claude that cracks jokes and makes people laugh. They don't experience all of that, all because I'm trying to hide a certain part of me. But the minute I own up to who I am, I own up to this gift that God gave me, and I look at it as a gift now that I walk into a room and people notice me and people want to hear what I have to say. Whether they perceive it as arrogance at first, they will change their minds later. I'm robbing them of the opportunity to actually experience all the other amazing traits of me. And I know I'm not arrogant, but I'm robbing them off of the opportunity to actually see that I am not arrogant. I am just a bold and confident young woman who's opinionated and not afraid to speak her mind, right? At the same time loving, at the same time a bit gentle. I'm robbing people of seeing all of that. So what I'm saying is, stick to who you are. Be true to who you are. Regardless of whatever room you step into, regardless of where you're going, right? Regardless of whether people shy away from certain parts of you, because usually it's a part of you that they think they know, that they don't know quite well, but they think they have you figured out from a little part that they saw. And when you try to change and conform and try to fit with whatever, you can never be successful at being something that you're not. So when you try to fit in whatever box that people put you in, you're actually robbing yourself of fully expressing even the other amazing traits, including the one that people kind of judge prematurely, all the amazing things about you. And you're robbing other people from experiencing that and learning and grasping from that. So, Unleashed fam, in your anchoring, remember that not everyone is going to be accepting and be your biggest fan at first glance. But when you are true to who you are, you allow people to see the real you. You allow people to experience you. You allow people to see different parts of you that make you beautiful and that make you who you are and that make you the powerful being that you are. So stick to who you are and let people fall in love with you and let people experience that. And if they don't, alignment. I believe in alignment. Sometimes we're so concerned about us aligning with brands that we want to, or individuals or organizations, whether it's work, whatever the case may be. We're so concerned with aligning with a specific organization, brand, individual, or entity, whatever, that we forget that the brand or the entity also needs to align with us, right? It has to naturally align. We're so concerned about bending ourselves backwards and trying to change ourselves just so we can look like the perfect candidate, or just like we can look like the perfect employee, or look like the perfect whatever. Yes, there's some level of compromise so that we can come to common ground, right? But it shouldn't and never should be coming down to you compromising who you are to the core, or you changing who you are just to fit in. Let who you are align with whatever entity or whatever institution stands for and what it values. And sometimes, may I present it to you, may I actually bring it to your attention that sometimes you are the very thing they didn't know they needed. Sometimes you are so different from anything they've ever experienced, or anything they've ever had, or anyone they've ever had working with them, for them, whatever the case is, that they actually see you and they see the genuineness and they see the authenticity and they see how real you are, that they realize this is exactly what we've been looking for. But the moment you try to adjust with whatever you think they want, then you miss it, because they can see you're not being real. You can spot fake from 10 miles away. They can see you're not being real. They can see you're not being authentic. And it's kind of not attractive. Fake is not attractive. I personally find it, I find it quite repelling. So you're never going to win in that situation. But if you're true to yourself, even if it's something they've never done before, you might find that you are the one person to break that. You are the one person to introduce a new perspective, because you are allowing them to experience the whole you. You are allowing them to have a full experience of who you are to the core. So never be afraid to put yourself out there just as you are. Never be afraid. Yes, we do the internal work to make sure we present the best versions of ourselves, but the best version of yourself is not what you think they want. The best version of yourself is who you know you are and who you can be to the core, and work on that. And having that peace, it gives you that peace. Even if you get a no, even if you get rejected, it gives you so much peace knowing that I went there as myself And if they did not like that, then it means I was never going to be able to thrive there anyway. Because who's going to be pretending for 24 months or however long your contract, let's just say you get a 5-year contract, you're going to be pretending for 5 years? No. Right? You're never going to thrive there because the environment was never for you in the first place. But if you put your best foot forward and you show up as your true self, and they open the door and they welcome you with open hands, then you know you are going to thrive, right? So if the door is shut because you are being true to yourself, then baby girl, pat yourself in the back and say, I am proud. I showed up as my 100% self, and I did not align with them. They did not align with me, and that's okay, right? Because as much as we have to align, they also have to align with us as individuals, right? We need to meet each other and gel. And if the gelling is not happening, that's okay. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. Maybe there may be things that you need to improve on personally. There may be things that they need to adapt to or improve on also on their side. And that's okay. But it just means that it was not meant to be. Maybe right now it's not meant to be. It might be meant to be later, or it might never be meant to be. And that's okay, because there's always another door open. When one door shuts, 7 others are open. And there's always other opportunities. There's always a room that is just perfect for you. So never reduce yourself to anything you're not just to try to fit in. Remember, stick to who you are and remain anchored in that. Be true to who you are. Every day in the morning, wake up and remind yourself to be true to who you are. Remind yourself of who you are, what makes you who you are, what grounds you, and what is your why. And continue thriving in that. The world usually just catches up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.